Hello everybody, how are you? It is Thursday night. This is the first time I've been in the shop in a long time. It's been quite a few days since I've been out here. And the last 2 days I haven't been out here because it's just been too darn cold. Now I do have a heater, but the garage has 12-foot ceilings, so if you're only going to be out here, like you come out after work, you only get a couple of 2, maybe 3 hours. I mean, you can barely take the chill off. So what I'm going to do is I got a couple of things I want to work on. I got a pin here that is one of my wife's pins, and my wife is one of my best, the best proponents of using my pins. She has pins, I bet she has half a dozen, maybe 8 pins and mechanical pencils. And this one, the center ring, see how it just comes right apart? The little center band broke. Well, I happen to have a spare, and I'm going to go ahead and fix that up for her tonight. I make those as a single unit now. That's a click pin that I get. I forget which one it's called, like the Pro or something like that from Penn State. And those center bands are super thin and they break a lot. People put them in their pockets and they just bend. I've got a Steve Kondo blank. Where did I put it? There it is. That I want to get prepped. I got for Christmas, I got the 10.5 and the 12.5 millimeter drill bits. So I want to get that drilled out tonight, glued up and ready to go. I've got 1 or 2 other blanks laying around here. This is a Benny Ray Watkins blank, and it's ready to be turned. I don't know if I'll get to turning tonight. It's just a little too dang cold. We'll see, but that's coming. I've got a stack of 4 or 5 packages to open. I'm looking forward to that. And I got something neat here. These are neat. These are little boxes. Look at these things. And they pop open. One hand, it's kind of tough. There we go. They just open right up, and they have a single divider in the center. And we have a piece of equipment at work, FTIR or DSC. I think it's a DSC. And you get these little metal, these little bitty metal cylinders. And one is a top and one is a bottom. And they, each side, one has top, one has bottom. And you put a piece of plastic between them and you crush them on this vise. And these are the cases that those pellets come in, and they throw them away once they're, we use a lot of those pellets in our testing, and then they throw them away. So I went ahead and grabbed a couple of them today. And I'm going to see if I can't find a use for them in the shop. There's bound to be something good to use them for. I've also, while I'm out here, I've got some items soaking, some in acetone, and I want to get those out of there, get them cleaned up. And I'd like to get the top cleaned off. Look at this, my maker cart. Look at the junk on there. I need to get that cleaned off. And all of the things I'm prepping, the Steve Kondo blank, these acetone kits, anything I put together, I want to get on top of there so it's ready to go when I come back out here in a couple days. So today's really prep day. And in a little bit, I'll open the mail and we'll see what we got. So a couple of surprises and a couple of things I know about. I want to let you guys know, I bought a small, it's about, I don't know, 12 inch by 12 inch by 12 inch photo booth. I think I mentioned it in the last video or the one before that. I set it up last night and I took a photo, and it's okay. It's great for small stuff like pens and bottle stoppers. The problem is it's got an LED strip across the top, and I'll show it to you later in another video. And it still puts a glare on the pen, and I was looking to light the pen up and avoid the glare, so I think I'm going to have to get a piece of, like, I don't know if it's muslin or cheesecloth or what you put over the light to where the light can shine through, but I don't get that glare. You know, when you finish a pen with CA, it's real shiny, and those darn LEDs, you just got the lines on them, and it does light the pen up, and the shadow situation is way better. My picture that I took of my test pen was way better, but I got to find a way to get rid of that darn glare. Anybody has any ideas? I'd be more than happy to hear them, hoping to find something simple and cheap. And also, I'll show you guys, I got a few cool things for Christmas, and I'll show you kind of what I got for Christmas. Let me get a little bit organized here, and I'll be back with you. Well, I'm making good progress. I've got my cart cleaned off over here, and I've got a number of projects laid out. Some of them are started. I want to do a few more things, and then I'll show you the top of this and what's coming up in the wrap-up for this video. What I want to do now is talk a little bit about some of the swag I got for Christmas, as well as a few things that have come in the mail. The other day, I pulled this out of the mail from Desert Bum Woodworking. This is Chuck. I'm not sure if it's Mardon or Mardon, M-A-R-D-O-N. And we did a little sticker swap. I sent Chuck one of my RJB Woodturner shop stickers. And I'm going to get this mounted up on the loft with all of my other stickers. So thank you, Chuck. I appreciate that. And I thought this was really cool. Niels and Debbie over at the Classic Nib sent me a Christmas card. Check that out. I mean, that was really awesome. You know, you don't expect that. And that's one of the reasons why I've been trying to promote a lot of these smaller companies. You know, you got Penn State, which is a conglomerate, big monster company. And then you got Niels and Debbie, you know, who own this company, and they take great pride in customer service and taking care of their customers. And then they do something sweet like this. I mean, I pulled it out of the mail and I'm like, what the heck? You know, I had no idea, but that was great. Thank you, Niels. Thank you, Debbie. I do appreciate the card. I got a couple of things here on the bench. We're going to start off by opening up this first one. This is one that I ordered. All right, this is a M13 by 7.5 tap and an M13 by 7.5 by 1 inch die, and I ordered these for turning my kitless pins. That's something I'm going to talk about in just a minute. So I needed this. This should be the last tap and die that I have on order. I think everything has come in, so we're getting ready to move forward on that. This next package is from Rick Troop, and I met Rick at the Midwest Ohio Valley Pin Turners Gathering back in September, and Rick gave me some blanks then, and I still have some of them over on my card here that I need to turn, but he saw that I was doing these pin blanks with bottle caps, and he said, hey, I got a couple bottle caps been sitting around for years. I'm not going to do anything with them. I'll send them to you. And that's what this is. It says, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Enjoy, Rick. Thank you, Rick, and Merry Christmas to you. And these are really cool. I don't know how to really show these. I tell you what I'll do. I'll lay them out on the table here, and then when I do the wrap up, you'll be able to see all the bottle caps laid out on this table. This is something I ordered. Now, you guys are going to like this. I believe I've talked about this on this particular channel. This is a solder removal tool. You heat the solder up, and this pulls the solder off of the board so that you can remove the components. Now, we have one at work, and a lot of times I use their table, but I didn't feel comfortable having the camera set up at work, and even if I did it after hours, having the camera set up and shooting video, because we do have a no cameras in the facility policy. So I went out and ordered one for myself. Luckily, they're not real expensive, and that brings me to another point. You'll see the control box over here in a minute. I have all the parts on order, the MOSFET chips and a couple of the other chips, and we're going to one at a time replace those in an attempt to get this control box that was on my lathe working. So that's going to be fun. As soon as the parts get here, they're all coming from China, so probably between the 1st and 2nd week of January, we'll get those parts. All right, something I bought for myself yesterday. Getting ready to do these kitless pins, I have a set of calipers that I got from a machinist, and they are just standard calipers, extremely accurate, but I have trouble reading them sometimes. You know, the lettering or the numbering is really small, so I went ahead and picked myself up a set of digital calipers at the local big box store. I got a real good deal on them, and you need these for turning the kitless pins because you've got to be really, really careful with your tolerances. So you'll be seeing these in some of my videos. Day before yesterday, which was Tuesday, Jim Heater contacted me. He was in town. His daughter lives locally here in Newburgh, and he wanted to swing by the shop and hang out for a little while, so he did. He brought me a couple of blanks. Here's a blank that Jim cast. It's polyester resin. He's been making these. He was experimenting with swirling some colors. That's really cool. But here's the one I'm really excited about. This is an apple twig blank. Now, I saw these in the Penn State catalog, but I have never turned one. And he brought it to me, and he also brought me a copy of the instructions. You have to drill CA in there, you know, to make sure that everything sticks together well, because there's a lot of voids. I don't know how well you can see them, but you know, there's a few voids in there. We'll be turning that in a video. That's gonna be a blast to turn, and I'm looking forward to it. Now for a little bit of the Christmas swag. This year for Christmas, I asked for nothing. I did not want to get presents. It just, you know, I'm at a stage in my life where if I want something, I'll go out and buy it. And truthfully, I really don't want a lot. Sometimes it's very hard for your family to understand that. So they go out and buy you gifts anyway. And mostly it was my kiddos. But, you know, I got some gifts and I'm going to show them to you. My oldest boy bought me this. This is a 12.5 and a 10.5 drill bits from Woodcraft. And I needed these to be able to do a Steve Kondo pin that I'm working on. So these are going to get put to use tonight. he also picked up a Woodcraft gift card for me, and then he picked up this little multi-tool that has an LED light on it, so that ought to be kind of cool. I got to get that out of the box there, and we'll start using that and carrying it around, and that should come in really handy. My oldest daughter got me this. Now, you guys have probably seen my disc/belt sander over there, and it's been missing a belt for about a month and a half now. My old belt, it just wore out and it got a little tear in the corner. Well, when that tear came over and caught on the where it goes inside of the machine, it just ripped that devil off of there. So she bought me a brand new belt. This is an 80 grit. That's fairly aggressive. We'll hang on to that. That's going to come in real handy. And this, now my younger children, they got me a lot of stuff. I'm a chocolate fan, so you know they got chocolate for me. One of my sons gave me some taps, a M10 one tap and die that I needed, and my daughter, oh my goodness, my daughter, I just forgot what she got me. It'll come to me shortly and I'll let you know. But this was a gift. This was rather unexpected. I've become friends with Jim Zimmerman. This is his lathe back here, by the way. I get asked almost every time I post a video, people see this in the background and they say, hey, did you get a Nova Comet? And I'm like, no. Jim Zimmerman is a buddy of mine. Jim lives up in Minnesota, and he's been down here working on a job on the Indiana-Kentucky border. And he's been over to the shop, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, and we hang out, you know, we've made a couple of things. He's made a pin blank in my shop for one of Lynn Lacey's pin swaps. So we've become really good friends. We just sort of hit it off. And when my lathe went down and I was working on that box and waiting for the new box to come in, Jim had brought his lathe down from Minnesota, and he swung by and he dropped it off and said, here, use my lathe until you get yours going. So I used it for a pin, and I didn't want to use it too much because truthfully, I didn't want to damage it. I didn't want to do any damage to it. So I was very careful and very nervous. And after I got done, I moved it over here on the table saw where it's safe. I don't want it on the floor where I could step on it or drop something on it. It is sitting here very safe until I can get it back into Jim's hands. But as I said, we became good friends, and Jim decided he wanted to get me a Christmas gift. And this caught me off guard. My wife knew about it, but I didn't. And what Jim got me was a Beal wood buff. This is 3 wheels. It comes with 3 8-inch wheels. It's got white diamond, triple E, and then a wax wheel. It comes with a triple E bar, the white diamond bar, and the wax bar, and then an adapter for your lathe. I have not opened it yet. We're going to be getting to it really soon. Jim uses this and says it puts a far superior finish on the pin if you use the triple E and the white diamond, and don't use the wax. He said leave it off, just leave the last wheel natural, and it will give you an incredible appearance on your pins. So I'm super psyched about getting this out of the box and getting on the lathe, and you're going to see this in a video really soon. Wow, that was a lot to go through, but you guys said you want to see this kind of stuff, so I'm giving it to you. I'm going to let you go for a few more minutes. I got some other stuff to prep in the shop, and then we'll come back and I'll do a wrap up, show you what I got going on here, and let you kind of know some of the stuff that's coming up in the shop. I'll be right back. It's been a good night. I'm freezing though. Up here you can see I got the Desert Bum woodworking sticker. I decided to go ahead and start going down that side of the loft because I'm getting really close to the corner over here, and I'll eventually fill that in. But I thought, why not go ahead and start giving some life to this side as well. So if any of you guys have shop stickers, want to do a sticker swap, send me a sticker and I'll send you one of mine. Let me show you some of the stuff I got done tonight. Here's my wife's ink pen. I put it back together, but it's going to require glue on the center band. I think because it was probably flexing, it weakened the brass tubes, and they are larger than they should be maybe from a little bit of stretching. So I'm going to put some CA in there, but before I do, notice that. I don't think she realized it, but when the pin came apart, it looks like the spring got away. I've got some cheapies. I'm going to dig up a cheapie band, or I'm sorry, a cheapie spring. We'll get it put in there, and then we'll get that glued together. Here are the bottle caps Rick Troop sent me. Aren't they cool? Check them out. Those are going to make some awesome pins. Here's some tubes I recovered. Now what I need to do is take a standard length tube, and I'll use my new calipers and make sure that these are within tolerance, because if they're short, from being maybe sanded down a little bit, I might not be able to use them. Here's one of the badges that I recovered. The Cheerwine is another. I've got these ready to be put in resin. I just need to get a nice warm day and a little bit of time. Here's one of the bottle caps that didn't make it. The material, it was actually laminated to it, I guess, as opposed to being painted right on. But I thought, you know what, maybe, I think that was a Jones Soda, maybe I can engrave that or something and put like a little, you know, an engraving in it and give it kind of a cool look. Back here, I've got some cypress that was sent to me by a guy to make something for his dad. His dad worked for the one of the local Hovey Lake preserve, and this was some cypress. I guess it had come down in the storm, and he hung on to some pieces. And I'm going to make something for his dad. This is a candy cane blank I've got. I need to get this turned. This was sent to me by Daryl Dice. Here is my controller, which I'll be working on as soon as I get the parts. My screws are in the old box that I made. I got to put my RGB wood turner pin back together. Here's that apple branch blank. Right here is the ready to be assembled into the Junior Gent, actually ready to be turned. I've got them glued up and ready to go. I was so nervous working on those. This is a piece of lignum vitae that was sent to me by Benny Ray, or given to me by Benny Ray Watkins Jr. Benny and Julie McNeil own Woodpecker's Landing, and they have tons and tons of amazing turning blanks and pin blanks, and I'm going to do a shout out for them in the video. Here's some more Spectraply blanks. I got some that's cut at a 45. And I found a pink one up in the loft. I may have one or two more of those. I want to make a few more of those blanks that I made the other night. They just turned out so cool. These are some Alumilite rods that I'm going to use for testing. I'm going to basically drill into them and tap them, turn a tenon and you know, use the die to cut threads on them. These are practice blanks, so I'm getting ready to start practicing. Here's a couple of blanks I opened the other day. These were sent to me by Patriot Pens. This one has the Pledge of Allegiance, I'm sorry, the Second Amendment on it. And this one has the Pledge of Allegiance, and they look absolutely amazing. The colors are stunning. So this is ready. I got projects ready to go. I just need to find out what he wants out of these and pick a pin kit for those and for that one, and I'll get them prepped. Beyond that, I've had enough. My fingers are numb. My nose is frozen. I'm going in the house. You guys have a great evening. Thanks for hanging out with me, and as soon as I can get back out here in the shop, I'll let you guys know what's going on, and I'll keep you posted. So I think there are going to be some cool blanks coming from them 45 Spectraplies. Hang tight for those. Take it easy, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.